All right, let's rock and roll. So once you have your video inputted down here on your timeline, you can import it here. So typically I like to save my video to the desktop. So I just I use 2 GoPros, and then I just use the cards to transfer it to my computer. And I just save it on the desktop, and then I could just click here, and then I'll hit import, which is down here on the right-hand corner, and that'll take me to my edit screen. So once I have my video on the timeline, you want to make sure that video 1, video 2 is toggled on. Same thing with audio 1, audio 2, audio 3, depending on how many video sequences you have. So I have 2 cameras for my setup. So video 1, video 2, audio 1, audio 2, which is from the GoPro cameras. And then audio 3 is where I'm going to put my main audio from the actual podcast itself. So once it's uploaded into the timeline, this is what I do. Is that first off is I'll highlight both timelines, or sorry, both video and audio sources, and I'll hit synchronize to make sure that the audio and video are synchronized completely between both of the audios from the GoPros themselves. We're not actually going to use the audio from the GoPros. We're going to be using the audio from the actual recording, and I'll show you how to sync that as well. So we'll let this sync first. Good. Now once that's processed and it's synced, you want to make sure audio 3 is toggled on. And we're going to head over here to media browser, and then we'll scroll down and we'll find the audio. You can I record mine in GarageBand, so you just search for it like any other file in GarageBand or whatever you save it when you record. And then once we find the audio, we'll add it to here, and then we're going to highlight that. We're going to select everything, and then same thing, we're going to hit synchronize to synchronize the audio with it itself, so that way it'll sync to the GoPro audio as well. And this is really helpful because you'll have the higher quality audio over your video instead of the GoPro audio, obviously. Once that's loaded, I want to start my timeline sequence. So I want to start it when the audio itself actually starts, or wherever you want it to start on when you edit your video. So now, and you want to make, in order for the AI software to work, you're going to want to have it start on the exact same frame on the timeline and end on the same frame of the timeline. So we'll head over here, we'll zoom in.
Is looking for new things to talk about. Good luck, have fun.
Nailed it.
There we go. So that is where I'm happy with where that ends. I know where it starts. And then we're going to come all the way to the front of the timeline. And since we have to start on 0, so we're going to hit either double click or right click, hit ripple delete. That'll compress everything to the front, which is convenient. And then from here, everything is synced. Everything looks good. You can always watch it to verify.
Nutrition, and people honestly can tell.
And once that is verified, then what we're going to do is we're actually going to mute these 2 buttons right here as your mute buttons. We're going to mute the audio from the GoPro and then have only the track from our main podcast audio.
A lot of times we get caught up in.
So now the audio sounds a lot better. So from here, now I'm going to hit window. I'm going to go down to extensions and hit multicam editor. From Autopod, I'll put a link in there where you guys can see Autopod. And then from here, I keep everything standard. So cutting method is standard. Multi-shot frequency is medium. You have different options here. Low just means that it's not going to switch back and forth frequently. Medium means moderate, obviously. And then high means it's going to be switching cameras frequently. I just keep it on medium. And then you have your selection of how many speakers you have, also how many cameras you have. So I have a 2-camera, 2-speaker setup. And then from here, we're going to match the same thing. So you're just going to take the information from down here and input it here. So audio 1 and video 1 is going to be Caitlin, and then audio 2 is going to be audio, and video 2 is going to be Matt. And then from here, we want to make sure that it matches. So audio 2, video 2 is Matt, audio 1, video 1 is Caitlin. Then we're going to hit multicam edit, and this will take about 45 seconds to a minute to edit, and it's going to be switching cameras back and forth. Alrighty, as you can see that Autopod is finished editing. So I'm going to hit OK. I can exit out of this, and then we can go actually through, and then let's see how it looks. So we'll just click on a random sequence here, and let's just see how the multicam works, just to make sure it's switching cameras appropriately.
Fear of failing.
Yeah, I think it's a.
So now we can now you have kind of an idea of what it'll look like. And then it'll switch back and forth. All right, so now that this is done, what we're going to do is we're going to hit export. and then you can either match source. So I shoot in 4K 30 frames a second on cinematic mode on the GoPro, so you can either match the source or shoot in high quality. And typically whenever you shoot in 4K and then when you adjust it down to social media clips, it'll automatically convert it to 1080p, and I'll show you how Opus.Pro does that. So we're just going to click the match the source, and we hit export, and then it's going to render, and I'll post it on the desktop. And then from there I upload it to YouTube, and then I use the YouTube link and I upload it to Opus.Pro, and then I'll show you how that works as well. So once I upload the video to YouTube, you can just drop the link right in here. It can be a Zoom link, can be really anything, doesn't really matter. It can be even the original video file. And then after that, it'll render it for you, and it'll pick out all the clips. And then here, I already have it already rendered and everything. So we'll click on this one, and then you'll see it'll rank the clips in order of which one it'll think it'll do best. I personally don't use the subtitles on this. I just keep it 100% raw. So no subtitles, no nothing. You can play around with that on your own if you like. And then from here, I'll just hit the download in HD. And then from there, once it's downloaded, I actually transfer it over via AirDrop to my phone, and then I'll edit it on my phone from there. And the reason why I like to edit it on my phone is because I like to see what it looks like, or what it will look like when I post it to social media. Okay, so now that I have my clip AirDrop to my phone, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I edit a social media clip from here. And again, the reason why I like to edit on my phone is because I like to see how it's going to look when I actually post it. So I first off, just by watching the entire clip.
If you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something through, forget it. You'll have nothing.
Yeah, it's very common. Okay, so I have kind of an idea of what to do. So what I'm going to do here, I did accidentally muted it. First thing I do is clean up the audio. So it's very simple. I select the clip, and I head over to reduce noise.
And if you just keep bouncing around,
hit the check mark. What that will do is it'll eliminate any other extra background noise, and it'll actually enhance the clip a little bit, which is fantastic. And then the next thing I do is now I actually start cleaning up. So it's about a 54-second clip, and my goal is always to get that down under 30 seconds. I can't always do it, but I do my best. So I like how it starts.
And if you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something through, forget it. You'll have nothing.
Yeah, it's very common, especially I see this a lot with new people coming into fitness. So I can take out some of this.
Forget it. You'll have nothing.
Yeah. So some of this I try and cut out as much as possible to get as much fillers as I can. I try and eliminate. Yeah, it's very common. So let's see how that looks.
You'll have nothing.
Especially I see this a lot with new people coming in. So you see how that flow just made it so much better, because there was a kind of a filler word where I said something along the lines of like, I see this a lot. And then so I just try and eliminate that and get straight to the point.
You'll have nothing.
Especially I see this a lot with new people coming into fitness, is they always see a bright shiny object. They're like, ooh, this looks cool. Like, and then there, I could probably cut that out. Like, what do you think about me doing Zumba? Or like, should I add in more? And a lot of times people think more is better. So I could probably start right there. So I'll select that. I like to hit split right there on the bottom left, and then I'll select the excess. I'll just hit delete. Cool. Like, a lot of times people think this looks cool. And a lot of times people think this looks cool. And a lot of times, so that's a little too long. Cut that down. This looks cool. Like, a lot of times people think this looks cool. Like, a lot of times people think more is better, or that this magic program is going to be the one that really gives me the results I'm looking for. When really, at the end of the day, there's no replacement for just pure consistency.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter for many individuals. And I'm going to say 90% of the adults out there in the population, you're going to see results if you just consistently do something, again, for 3 to 6 months.
So I actually don't need a lot of that. So I can cut that down. So I think I'll get to my clip. More is better, or that this magic program is going to be the one that really gives me the results I'm looking for. When really, at the end of the day, there's no replacement for just pure consistency. There we go. I can end it right there because we just go into more details about consistency. So I don't need that extra clip there. So that gets me down under my goal of 30 seconds, which is 28 seconds. I'll watch it all together. We'll see how it comes.
Yes, and if you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something through, forget it. You'll have nothing.
Especially, I see this a lot with new people coming into fitness, is they always see a bright, shiny object. They're like, ooh, this looks cool. Like, a lot of times people think more is better, or that, oh, that this magic program is going to be the one that really gives me the results I'm looking for. When really, at the end of the day, there's no replacement for just pure consistency. So extend that a little bit. Pure consistency. There we go. That's perfect. I don't even know if I need this front load.
And if you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something through, forget it. You'll have nothing.
Especially, I see this a lot. I like that. And so we got 30 seconds. So after I'm happy with my main clip, so this is where it kind of gets fun. So you can enhance this to make it look a lot better. So what I do is I head over to filters. The first one I use is focus, so that kind of blurs out the background. So if I take it away and then I ramp it back up to about 80, you can see that kind of blurs the background, which is really nice, gives it that nice look. I hit the check mark and I make sure it's dragged across the entire clip. The second thing I do is I'll add another filter, and I like to add enhance. You can add vivid as well, but I think just enhance and focus is two default filters that you can use that make it look a lot better. And once I do enhance, I'll actually hit polish. And then from here, I'll go to adjust, and I'll hit auto adjust. And sometimes it's a little too bright. Sometimes it looks good. I think in this case, it actually looks good.
Or seeing something through.
Now, once I have that established, once I have the enhance established, now this is where I'm going to add some B-roll. So I like to start B-roll about either right at the beginning of the clip or towards the end, or sorry, in about 2 seconds in. So I'm actually going to start at the beginning. So to add B-roll, what we do is we just go into overlay. And honestly, my B-roll is just clips I get at the gym. So nothing is really organized or special. I just kind of choose random clips, and then I go from there. So let me just scroll through my feed and see what I can find for you. I mean, fist bumps are always cool. So we'll add some fist bumps because everybody loves fist bump videos. I always keep my B-roll clips down to about 3 seconds or so. I try to have something happen every 2 to 3 seconds in my clips.
Yes, and if you just keep bouncing around.
Oh, and then once that's in there, you saw how I made it bigger. You want it to fill full screen, so just press on the clip itself and expand it. And then I'm going to reduce the volume down to nothing, so that way you don't hear any of the background noise from the B-roll.
Yes, and if you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something. Yes, and if you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something.
So this ended at about 3 seconds, so I want to start another one, probably around 6 seconds. Find another clip. Let's see what else we can find. Ah, this is a good one. Lunges are always good. Who doesn't love lunges? I hate lunges. All right, here we go. So that looks like a good clip. And then I'll expand that to fill full screen. From here, select the clip.
Through.
Reduce it down to 0.
Yes, and if you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something through, forget it. You'll have nothing.
Especially, I see this a lot with new people coming into. Now this looks kind of funky because it's like a fast transition, so I'm actually going to make this one a little bit longer. There we go. That looks better. So that way it doesn't cut too fast.
And if you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something through, forget it. You'll have nothing.
Especially, I see this a lot. Same thing here. I want to end it right there where I made that little cut.
You'll have nothing.
Especially, I see this a lot with new people coming into fitness, is they always see new people coming in. So this one ended at about 10 seconds. So that means at about 13 seconds, I want to add another clip. So let's see what else I can dig up. Go. 1. Oh, this one's good, of Amy. This one should be good. Click on that, reduce the noise. As they always, the fitness is they always see a bright. Let's scoot this over just a tad. Into fitness is they always. This a lot with new people coming into fitness is they always see a bright shiny object. They're like, ooh, this looks cool. Like, a lot of times people think. And then we'll cut that, delete that. How long is this clip? About 4.5 seconds. So a little long, but be a bright shiny object. They're like, ooh, this looks cool. Like, a lot of times people think more is better, or that, oh, that this magic program is going to be the one that really gives me one that this magic. So 18, so 17. So we want another one starting about 20 seconds. Let's see what else we can dig up. Some good video right here. Here we'll use carry, do some goblet squats. That one's short, 2.6 seconds. Expand it, reduce the noise. Magic program is, or that, oh, that this magic program is going to be the one that really gives me the results I'm looking for. Same thing. Oh, that should be fine. So I'm looking for. Set it to right there so that way it doesn't have that quick cut. The results I'm looking for, when really at the end of the day there's no replacement for just pure consistency. So that looks good. I don't think I need to add another clip, so let's watch the whole thing through now. Let's just take a look.
Yes, and if you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something through, forget it. You'll have nothing.
Especially I see this a lot with new people coming into fitness is they always see a bright shiny object. They're like, ooh, this looks cool. Like, a lot of times people think more is better, or that, oh, that this magic program is going to be the one that really gives me the results I'm looking for, when really at the end of the day there's no replacement for just pure consistency. So that looks good. I'm happy with that. Now here's something you can do to kind of spice things up too. There's an effects button right here, the little star, and click on that and hit video effects. And one of my favorite things to use is called retro. And from here they have some cool like little visual like burns and stuff that you can use. I like to use the simple ones, like black noise is one of my favorites. Just keep bouncing around. You can add that, and then I'll just drag that across the entire clip, and then that will give at least the parts where the main part of the video, not the B-roll, but the main part of the video.
Yes, and if you just keep bouncing around,
we'll have like these little,
never actually sticking
give it some
or
kind of
seeing
pizzazz,
something
just to
through,
make it look a little different.
Forget it. You'll have nothing.
Especially, my whole goal on this is just to make the clip look a little bit different than what you would see in just like. Make it look different than just I was filming on an iPhone or something. And we can replace the effect. There's some other effects on here that are useful as well. But I like to use the ones that aren't too intrusive or that mess up the visuals too much.
And if you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something through, forget it. You'll have, yes. And if you just keep bouncing.
This one's good too. Noise 2 is good too. This one's a little more
sticking
simple.
Or seeing something through.
I like that one.
Forget it.
So let's watch the whole
and
thing
if you
again.
just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something through, forget it. You'll have nothing.
Especially I see this a lot with new people coming into fitness is they always see a bright shiny object. They're like, ooh, this. So it looks good. I'm happy with that. Now we're going to render this. So we're going to hit the arrow in the top right corner. And then I'll show you how I add the subtitles and some zooms. Good, so now that's done. We'll take it over to our Captions app. I'll click on that. Then I'm going to upload it. So I'll hit create, I hit camera, I hit the little screen on top, hit camera roll, and it should be right there. Perfect, 28 seconds. Hit choose, it's going to compress.
Yes, and if you just keep bouncing
I'll
around.
hit the check mark, proceed with English, it's going to upload and then render.
Yes, and if you just keep bouncing around.
Perfect. So there's some really good subtitles here on the Captions app. One of my favorites is Hustle, which is this one, that's the second one down. I customize it to where it's just white, which is nice. So I'll hit that. And then you want to keep within those boundaries, and also make sure that the actual subtitles aren't blocking anyone's face. So let's take a look at this.
And if you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something through, forget it. You'll have nothing.
Especially, I see this a lot with new people coming into fitness, is they always see a bright, shiny object. They're like, ooh. So, and then I like to hit the AI zoom, which is right there. That'll take a few seconds. And then this just kind of gives make it look like someone's actually operating the camera.
And if you just keep bouncing around, never actually sticking or seeing something through, forget it. You'll have nothing.
Especially, I see this a lot with new people coming into fitness, is they always see a bright, shiny object. They're like, ooh, this looks cool. Like, a lot of times people think more is better, or that, oh, that this magic program is going to be the one that really gives me the results I'm looking for. When really, at the end of the day, there's no replacement for just pure consistency.
And if you just keep bouncing around.
All right, well, I'm happy with that. So I'll just hit export. In the top right corner, export to camera roll, and that's ready to post. Hope that helped.